Hi everybody, good morning. It's time for another early morning book review. So I hope you're up and you're ready to have a fantastic day. But you could be watching this later, so maybe fantastic afternoon or fantastic evening. I don't know when you watch it. Okay, so I'm here to review The Ghost in the Gallery, which I just finished, by Carolyn Keene. Remember, from Nancy Drew, there's no such person. It was just a bunch of ghostwriters. But this was a series that I had never heard of. I found this, I think, in a bookstore in Arkansas, and I just loved the cover. Isn't that beautiful? So this is Louise, and this is Jean. And in our story, we've got two plots going on. One, they've written a song that somebody has stolen and changed the words, and it's on the radio, so they have to deal with that. And the other thing is that they want to put on this play about Louis XIV, and they want to do it in this opera house called the Mozart Opera House, which is owned by a woman who is a former opera singer, but yet there is a troublesome ghost in the opera house. Okay, so this I gave it 3 stars because it was fine. It wasn't fantastic. It was fine. It was, your typical you meddling kids plot. But they go to a school called Starhurst, which I thought was pretty interesting. They go to a school called Starhurst, and one of the reasons that I gave it a 3 was, look at this illustration. Now, see, I don't think that's a very good illustration. And in the Nancy Drew books that I've got, especially the older ones, the illustrations are excellent. These are just really cartoonish. Let's see if I can find another one. Here's another one. The illustrations are not good. You kind of see what's going on way before. Now, I do have to give Jean and Louise credit, because Jean and Louise never once buy the ghost theory. Even though they see it, even though they hear it, even though it frightens their friends, they never once buy the ghost theory. So I do have to give them credit for that. One of my favorite parts was, of course, their parent list, which I find that very interesting in a lot of these series. The parents either absent, or you've only got one, or maybe they're being raised by someone else, but they don't have like parents. So they were raised by an aunt and uncle. And so the aunt and uncle say, hey, we're coming up for the play. We're going to come up for the play and see you in the play and everything like that. And they're like, great. Would you mind stopping by the penitentiary on your way up and see if you can get some information about this ex-con? And the aunt and the uncle, the elderly aunt and uncle, are like, sure, we'll stop by the penitentiary. We'll just pull off when we're having lunch and go into the penitentiary. So they go to the penitentiary, and the penitentiary apparently just hands the folder over to them so they can read all about this ex-con. It is nutty. It is nutty. I have never seen that. Stop by the penitentiary for me. Sure. No problem. I can't imagine what my mother would say if I said, would you please stop by the penitentiary for me and see if you can get information on this ex-con, without even telling them why. They're like, we don't even want to tell you why until you get here. Nutty. Okay, so 3 stars. And basically that was just because it was a tired old plot and the illustrations were awful. Did not like the illustrations, but except for the front, which the front they really did a good job on. But then the rest of the book, they were just like scribble, scribble. So the next one I'm going to read is Julie Builds Her Dream Castle. Now we've got a beach trip coming up, which I'm very excited about. And I think I've already picked out my beach read, which I'll have to share with you. But in this one, this was written in 1959. In this one, it is about a young woman who is dealing with the conflict of her father being an artist and her father kind of being outside the norm of this society in 1959. And the inside reads that she resents her father's nonconformity, but she actually owes it to many of the summer's happiest moments. So it's a summer story, and it looks like her father, from what I've read on the back, kind of flipped through it and everything like that, is kind of a beatnik. And so how does your daughter who wants to conform, you know, you're a teenager and you want to fit in, deal with the beatnik dad? Well, we'll just have to find out, and Julie builds her dream castle. So anyway, that's all I have for you this morning. That was my little short. I like to keep these things short in the morning so you can just watch them boom and move on. But anyway, I've got another floss tube coming up, and that one's gotten a lot of views. And please like and subscribe if you like my channel. And if you want to talk about cross stitching or knitting or vintage books or classic mysteries, because I've got some great stuff coming up this summer and some great plans. Anyway, thank you so much, and check you later.